Army Lieutenant Colonel and Heritage Foundation Senior Counselor. Welcome to you, sir. You just heard the president moments ago. A lot of news on Iran. He vowed the world will be much safer soon, that discussions are happening. They began over the weekend. Do you take Iran at their word if you're President Trump?
So the question is, what Iran, right? So there's some reporting that who they've actually been talking to is senior members of the Iranian parliament, which might be fine. So we have no idea, from what we publicly know, how widely the leadership is shared. It's pretty degraded. Also, you can't trust anything the Iranians said publicly. We don't even know who controls these various different medias now, and the messages they may be seeing publicly may or may not completely conflict with anything in private. So it is difficult to make sense out of all this. It does make sense for the U.S. to say, hey, let's wind this down. Look, from America's perspective, dude, we have already won. We have wiped out the nuclear program. Eventually we'll find out where the uranium is. We've crippled the ballistic program and the production. They have lost control of their surrogates, and their surrogates have been greatly degraded. So all the things that make Iran truly a significant threat in the region have been significantly degraded, and they're not coming back, not just for the rest of Trump's presidency, but for the rest of the next two presidencies. So from a U.S. perspective, to wind things down now would be fine. The Iranians can't win here. I mean, they can't play the close the Hormuz Strait forever, because eventually they'll open that. They can't keep the close, and they can't play we'll blow up your infrastructure, you'll blow up ours, because they'll lose that, because the Saudis, the UAE, Bahrain, they can repair theirs. Nobody is going to fix the Iranian oil infrastructure if it gets destroyed, and that is absolutely going to flatline their economy forever. So they don't really have a path forward except this one thing. The only thing that the IRGC and the hardliners want is they want to remain in control of their government, and that's all they really care about. They can probably achieve that for now, but we can continue to mow the grass here. We can continue to. That's not saying this government can survive, say, 6 months or so. So, from the U.S. perspective, winding things down now would be fine.
To your point and your initial question, what Iran are we dealing with? As you mentioned, President Trump did address that a few minutes ago, and when he gaggled earlier, he said these are reasonable people he's dealing with. Listen,
yeah, well,
I'm going to play it out just a second.
Yeah.
Now, in all fairness, everybody's been killed from the regime. They're really starting off. There's automatically a regime change, but we're dealing with some people that I find to be very reasonable, very solid. The people within know who they are. They're very respected. And maybe one of them will be exactly what we're looking for.
So, James, from our perspective, I mean, as we all listen to this together, it seems the president is indicating that this time is different.
Right. Well, even if the people he's talking to don't control the security infrastructure of the country, if he cuts a deal with them and they publicly cut a deal with him, even if they're not in control, the amount of pressure that's going to put on the IRGC and the hardliners is even going to be worse. So the problem is all they want to do is keep control. But if their notion of keeping control is we have to keep fighting, every day they do that, it actually puts them more at risk that people will desert them and they'll collapse.
Okay, we are watching it all in real time. I mean, that was another update from President Trump just a few moments ago from Memphis. It seems like he's going to keep us posted as these discussions continue. James, great to have you on. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.